and welcome to another episode of The Serial Traveller. Today's video takes us to a land awash in history, mythology, dramatic scenery, great food, laid-back attitude, and an unashamed joie de vivre. So, please join me on this new trip. I didn't mean this kind of trip. You know what? I'm gonna fire these idiots once we finish producing this video, honestly. Today we continue our travels. Yes, because as someone once said, a mile of highway will take you a mile. A mile of runway, however, will take you anywhere. Today's runway is taking us to Thessaloniki. Founded in 315 BC, this port city is Greece's second largest, with over 1 million inhabitants. Thessaloniki is steeped in history. From invasions to great fires, Thessaloniki's history is rich and diverse. For better or for worse, all that influence received throughout history has clearly left its mark. And in a way, thanks to that, it has become a popular tourist destination, in addition to Athens, of course, and the beautiful islands that make up the Hellenic geography. So, what brought me to this beautiful city? Well, none other than a Greek wedding, of course. This, in a way, may explain why this review is not necessarily focused on just tourist information. Instead, it's a more personal account on my visit here. A general summary of what is worth seeing. Plus, okay, small snippets of the wedding. But don't get your hopes too high. I will only be showing the sanitized version. The embarrassing, censored ones remain within the confines of the family. Now, what is Thessaloniki famous for? Besides being Greece's second city, you can also find Byzantine architecture, including numerous Paleo-Christian and Byzantine monuments, a World Heritage Site, as well as several Roman, Ottoman and Sephardic Jewish structures. The city's main university, Aristotle University, is the largest in Greece and the Balkans. Surprisingly, there are a number of options to fly here direct from London. But, as is usually the case with non-bestseller writers, voice artists and non-A-list celebrities like me, economics dictate who I must travel with and how. On this occasion, EasyJet came up with the best fare and times to accommodate our party of three. Flying from London Gatwick took us a fraction under 3 hours, and despite an ungodly departure time at close to 6 AM, we landed at just after 20 minutes past 11 into a sunny, balmy Thessaloniki Macedonia airport. Greece, by the way, is 2 hours ahead of the UK. As a party of three with a number of bags including wedding attire, we decided a cab, arranged by our hotel, was the sensible option to leave the airport. Alternatively, for those who are into the adventurous ways of getting into town, and if you are travelling relatively lighter than we were, there are buses that whisk you into town for under €3, albeit with many stops en route. Nevertheless, all things considered, at €25 and a 30 to 35 minute drive, the cab option was reasonable as well as a sensible choice. Because at the end of June, with temperatures in their late 20s or early 30s, between 83 and 90 for those who stubbornly prefer to use Fahrenheit, you don't want to get too creative or clever trying to find the correct bus and dragging your baggage across busy avenues to reach your hotel. We stayed at the 4-star City Hotel, very well located on Komnenon Street, between the busy Tsimiski Street with all its boutiques and high-end department stores, and the sea-facing Nikis Avenue, or Leophoros Nikis in Greek, which is arguably the most famous, most photographed and busiest road in the city. City Hotel is also located a few minutes' walk from Aristotelus Square, with its terraces and open spaces, a great variety of bars and restaurants, the place of preference for all Thessalonians to meet or simply, as was our case, find the perfect excuse for a cold beer or 3. If true that public transport is not as comprehensive as other major or bigger cities, in Thessalonika's defense, most places of interest are within no more than 20 or 30-minute walk. While the ladies in our troupe of merry wedding guests were making arrangements to visit hair salons and other premises to enhance their obvious family-acquired beauty attributes in preparation for the great event, me and my male entourage, mainly my son, a cousin, my niece's boyfriend and one of my nephews, decided to enhance our cultural knowledge of the city, as men normally do. Basically, just looking for somewhere where we can enjoy a refreshing beer or 3. Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying this video, and I just want to take a few seconds to invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you like what you see so far, simply press the little subscribe button below your screen. You can also press the bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video. By subscribing, you not only support my work, but you are forcing me to get off my backside and create more content for your pleasure. So thank you very much for these few seconds, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. See you soon! That took us to the discovery of Kapani Market, minutes walk from our hotel on the opposite side of Komnenon, cutting through Tsimiski. Not too far away on Menekse is Dimitriadis Fish Market. Now, the options here in Thessaloniki are mind-boggling when it comes to markets. Fresh produce, seafood, meats, bakeries, everything. Oh, we did find somewhere to sit and exchange impressions on what we'd seen and what we... Actually, just had a couple of beers. As you'd expect in a Mediterranean country, in Greece, life revolves around food. And very good food for that matter. And that cannot be a bad thing. I mean, besides breathing, eating is what keeps us alive. So, in order to help stay alive, let's talk about food. Bougatsa, probably best described as a cheesy or sweet filling of pie enclosed and sealed in the dough. The traditional recipe can be savory, filled with cheese, or sweet, filled with semolina custard and topped with powdered sugar and cinnamon. Beyond the traditional flavors, nowadays you can find the bougatsa filled with meat, spinach, or chocolate. Kuluri, a typical bagel topped with sesame seeds. It is one of the healthiest sources of carbohydrates, protein, and energy, making it truly tasty despite its simplicity. Spanakopita. This is actually a pie made of delicious dough filled with spinach, scallions, and of course, scrambled feta cheese. You can get a great spinach pie anywhere in Greece, but Thessalonians insist theirs are the best. Then you have the famed souvlaki, made of gyros, which is either pork or chicken meat cooked on a vertical rotisserie and served wrapped in a pita bread with French fries, tomatoes, onions, and sauce. A typical Greek Sunday lunch would have as main sauce tsoutsoukakia smirneika. This is actually meatballs, usually in rectangular shape instead of rounded, cooked in tomato sauce and accompanied by rice, mashed potatoes, and a slice of crusty bread to dive it in the sauce. Then you have your usual array of other Greek delicacies: kleftiko, moussaka, papoutsakia, which is stuffed eggplant, pasticcio, Greek lasagna, stifado, Greek beef stew, and everything seafood: calamari, octopus, prawns, any imaginable way of cooking fish. Plus, lest we forget, feta cheese and olives. all that washed down with their impressive but sadly not very well known wines or great lagers. And just to make sure you complete your digestion, a shot or two of ouzo. I believe I have now contributed to helping you stay alive. Oh, don't forget the breathing bit. At sunset, again the options are plentiful. From typical tabernas on Katuni, where you can sample all the main Greek cuisine as well as standard international dishes, to more upscale and trendy restaurants and bistros in the many side streets sandwiched between Simitski and Niki's avenues. And what better way to round up the night than indulging in exotic, decadent and truly laid-back cocktails, ouzos or liqueurs at one of the many trendy bars on Niki's avenue, where, if you're lucky to find an outdoor table, you can sip the night away with the gentle lapping of waves coming from the sea across the road. As promised earlier, here are a few snippets of what we really came here for. And finally, because Thessaloniki grows on you.